The Bold and the Beautiful recap for January 30th featured a showdown between Finn and Poppy, Luna getting closer to Bill, and Daphne plotting her next move. What happened today on The Bold and the Beautiful? Try as he might, Finn couldn't get a straight answer out of Poppy. He all but begged her for answers, but she danced around it time and time again. Finn once again reminded her of their past and demanded to know how many other men there were and what the chances were that he fathered his own cousin. Poppy stayed quiet even when Finn asked all his direct questions. She even tried to distract him with talk of how she felt about him back then and now. Apparently, she still cares for Finn like she did when he was in college. Much to her dismay, Finn wasn't backing off. He wanted answers and wanted them right then and there. Was she even surprised when Tom's test came back negative? Has she knowingly hid this secret the entire time? Finally, Poppy came clean, at least in her own head. She told Finn that he's not Luna's father. But is that the truth? Is this the one time she's being honest? Finn seems suspicious. Parent problems. As for Luna, she was working her magic to get closer to Bill. She brought up their dads and what it was like to be raised without them. Then, Luna switched up to talk about their mothers. Her mama was a flake and a liar. Was as much the same? The more Luna pressed, the more Bill opened up bit by bit and started exposing those parts of himself. And, yes, Luna was quite pleased with herself. Seduction tactics. Meanwhile, Hope cozied up to Carter at the office and thanked him for changing her life. Just look how far they've come since falling in love. He's the proud head of the company, her mother is CEO, and her line is back in business. All thanks to him. At the same time, Daphne showed up to see Steffy with Ridge not far behind. They talked shop and strategy, and Daphne remained committed to the plan. Later, she took off to go to the office and started getting into Carter's head while Ridge and Steffy hung back and gloated about the whole charade. It wouldn't be long now before they got their family company back. Friday's The Bold and the Beautiful episode is packed with tension as Finn questions Poppy's latest attempt to shut down his paternity suspicions. Will he finally uncover the truth about Luna? Meanwhile, Daphne Rose uses her signature scent and charm to get closer to Carter Walton, setting the stage for a seductive scheme. Finn remains skeptical after Poppy Nozawa insists yet again that he isn't Luna's father. With multiple paternity candidates ruled out, Finn can't ignore the growing evidence. Poppy's emotional reaction only fuels his doubts, making him question whether she's hiding the truth. Determined to get real answers, Finn may take action and secretly compare his DNA to Luna's. If the test confirms a father-daughter match, Poppy's deception will unravel, leaving Finn to decide what comes next in his newfound connection with Luna. Meanwhile, Luna continues to lean on Bill Spencer for support, confiding in him as she grapples with questions about her true parentage. Elsewhere, Daphne Rose seizes an opportunity to get closer to Carter Walton through their perfume collaboration. With seduction in mind, Daphne turns up the flirtation, carrying out Steffy Forrester's plan to shake things up. As she pulls Carter further into her web, this could spell trouble for Hope Logan's romance. With Finn on the brink of uncovering the truth, will Poppy's web of lies finally collapse? And as Daphne intensifies her pursuit of Carter, how will this affect Hope's relationship? Stay tuned to The Bold and the Beautiful for all the drama and surprises ahead. We begin today at the hospital where Finn tells Poppy that they spent the night together and then she got pregnant. He needs to know whether Luna is his daughter. Luna thanks Bill for the advance copy of a magazine. He credits knowing the owner. She says she's so lucky that he got her out of prison. While he points out that she was in danger, she's just happy to be with the father she always wishes she had. Carter thanks Hope for the kiss. He tells her to feel free to kiss him anytime. She says she'll kiss him happily because so much of her life changed because of him. Steffy thanks Daphne for meeting her at the Malibu house. Steffy gets a whiff of Daphne's new scent, and Daphne says Carter won't be able to resist it. Carter says they're a team and they have to take care of each other. She thanks him for everything, from getting her job back to her mother getting the CEO role. Steffy loves the scent and says Hope won't see this coming. Daphne says she's doing it all to help them get their company back. Ridge walks in and asks for an update. Steffy smiles. Bill reminds Luna that she's there because he felt empathy for her after seeing himself in her. Luna says they're a lot alike which is why she wrote so many letters to him. They had unstable childhoods because of their unstable mothers. Finn reminds Poppy how close they were while she was living at their house. He wants to know if there were other guys, or if it was just him. She looks away. Carter says Hope saw the value of his plan for the company, and she tells him it has been inspiring to see his ideas come to life. She says everyone made a mistake not taking him seriously, but Carter never thought he'd be doing it without Ridge. Hope says she's proud to be part of his journey, and he wouldn't want to be doing it without her. Hope really thinks the new fragrance line is going to make an impact, more than they can possibly know. Ridge thanks Daphne for her loyalty and her big ideas. Steffy says they will spare Ridge the details, so he doesn't know too much. Daphne assures him that it will be a very successful operation. Operation Carter Walton. Steffy agrees. Luna knows that Bill doesn't like to be vulnerable, but it's good to let the pain out. Luna points out that Bill went through the same thing she went through, and it's good to let it out. She thinks she might be able to help him. He says she's right, because their childhoods were very similar. Luna thinks she can help him. Poppy begs Finn to stop asking questions, but he keeps pressing her. She admits that there were other men in her life, but as soon as she says it, he says he has a right to know if he's Luna's father, so they need to find out. Hope says she's never met a woman like Daphne. Carter agrees she's a character, and he thinks she's a good fit. When Hope raves about her, Carter teases that she's a big fan. Pinch me, she laughs, so Carter kisses her. Hope wonders if this is all a dream with this life, and working with Daphne, who is magnetic. Carter says Hope has the same effect, and Hope says the same of him. Ridge asks Steffy and Daphne not to break any laws, but Steffy says they have to do whatever it takes. Daphne has to leave and meet Carter. She smiles deviously. Luna says she understands why it's easier to keep the pain bottled up inside, and then it explodes. She doesn't want him to do something bad like she did, but he says it's too late for that. He's glad she's turning over a new leaf. She's grateful for the chance to change, and she wants to help him work through his trauma. Nothing will shock me, she says. Bill admits that when he met Poppy, he loved her, but he felt something wrong about her, and he wonders now if the wrong part is the connection she has with his own mother. Poppy apologizes to Finn, who wonders what she has been keeping from him. She says it hurts that he's accusing her. He says he doesn't want to hurt her, but he needs to know the truth. He wants to know if she was surprised by the paternity test results, and he presses her about whether she genuinely thought Tom Starr was Luna's father. Ridge marvels at Daphne's presence, and Steffy says they owe her so much. She thinks she could be at Forrester Creations right now, trying to seduce Carter. Ridge doesn't want details, but he says she's very charming. Carter gets a call from Charlie, who also appreciates her scent and wants to know about a men's line. He and Hope smell Daphne before she arrives and raise her scent. Bill says that if he knew then what he knows now about Poppy, he never would have been with her. She's a carbon copy of his own mother. Finn points out that Lee ran 2 DNA tests. He knows she never slept with Jack, so those results make sense, but then Tom's results came back. She begs him to drop the questions, but he can't. He wants to know if she wants an answer, so they can put an end to the stress about it. She doesn't want to run any more tests, but he can't ignore the possibility of being Luna's father. She says that Luna is in jail, and she tried so hard to raise her well, so what does it matter? He says it matters to him. She insists that he's not Luna's father. Finn points out that Lee ran 2 DNA tests. He knows she never slept with Jack, so those results make sense, but then Tom's results came back. She begs him to drop the questions, but he can't. He wants to know if she wants an answer, so they can put an end to the stress about it. She doesn't want to run any more tests, but he can't ignore the possibility of being Luna's father. She says that Luna is in jail, and she tried so hard to raise her well, so what does it matter? He says it matters to him. She insists that he's not Luna's father. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. In Finn's office, he asks Poppy to be honest with him. Is Luna my daughter? Poppy doesn't want to go down this road, but Finn says they must. Were there other guys at the time they were close? Or was it just him? Poppy asks him to stop asking questions, but he won't let it go. Could it be someone else who fathered Luna? Poppy claims there were others because she was young and single, and she was with him only once. Finn has a right to know. He deserves the truth. You need to tell me if I am Luna's father. At Bill's place, Luna marvels at him, having a media empire and an amazing estate. He says she's better off serving her time there. Luna's sure she would have died if he hadn't rescued her. You really are the dad I wish I'd had. Bill put himself in her shoes. He saw his younger self in her. Luna feels they're a lot alike thanks to their dysfunctional, unstable mothers. She urges Bill to let his pain and trauma out. He's heard her go on about her mother, and he went through the same thing. Bill shrugs. He got over it. Luna wishes he'd open up to her a little more. Bill finds it amazing how similar their childhoods were. Luna thinks she can help. At Forrester, Hope kisses Carter, and they flirt and canoodle. She tells him so much of her life has changed because of him. Her world was falling apart, and he helped her piece it back together again. Carter tells her they're a team. They take care of each other. Hope marvels that she's back in the building. Her line is back. Her mother is CEO, and she doesn't have to answer to Steffy anymore. Carter recalls that she saw the value in his vision from the start. She found it inspiring. The others made a mistake not taking him seriously. Carter laments growing the company without his best friend. Hope recaps that they wanted to play it safe. She is proud to be a part of his journey. They must be doing something right if Daphne Rose is interested. She has a feeling the fragrance line will have a bigger impact than they know. At the Cliff House, Steffi thanks Daphne for meeting her. They go over that Carter and Hope can't know they're friends. Steffi admires the scent she's wearing, and Daphne is sure Carter will love it too. Steffi knows he's a sucker for an attractive woman. Daphne is doing this for her and her family. Ridge arrives and asks, "So what's going on?" Steffi says Daphne's going to head over to Forrester. Ridge appreciates her loyalty, but thinks the less he knows about the plan, the better. Daphne guarantees it will be a successful operation. Steffi nods. Operation Carter Walton. At Forrester, Hope says she's never met a woman quite like Daphne. She loves everything about her. Carter thinks she's a good fit for them. Hope has admired her from afar and can't believe she'll get to collaborate with her pinch-me. Carter can do better than that. He kisses her. Hope asks, is this a dream? She keeps fangirling over Daphne Rose. Carter tells her she has the same effect on people. Hope says even he must find Daphne captivating. How could you not? At the Cliff House, Ridge declares that if anyone can get the company back, it's Steffi. He asks her and Daphne not to break any laws and keep it clean. Steffi warns if they go low, so will they. Ridge doesn't think it goes any lower than stealing a company from your friend. Daphne announces she has to go. Carter's waiting. After Daphne's gone, Steffi tells Ridge that she's their ticket to getting the company back. She's seen her in action. They go over her being one of the most desirable women in France. Steffi's sure Carter will be unable to resist her. Then Hope's heart will be broken, and their coup will fall to pieces. At Bill's place, Luna tells him she has no way to repay him other than being a friend. "Let me help you, Bill." She promises nothing will shock her. Bill says it's interesting. When he first met her mother, he thought there was goodness, but he also sensed something was off. That wrong part was the similarity she shared with my mother. Bill says she was basically a carbon copy of his mother. Luna guesses he means a woman who can't be trusted, a compulsive liar. At Forrester, Carter and Hope sniff the air as they learn Daphne is in the building. Daphne enters the office, and Hope tells her the scent is hypnotic. She says, "You have no idea." In Finn's office, he asks Poppy if she's been keeping something from him all these years. She says she cared about him and still does. It hurts to have him accusing her. Finn just wants answers, and it's a legitimate question. He needs to know the truth. Finn asks if she thought Tom Starr was Luna's father. Poppy doesn't want to have this conversation. Finn doesn't either. Poppy says then drop it. He can't. She turns away, and he implores her to look at him. "Aren't you curious? Don't you want to have an answer and put an end to all of this?" Poppy sniffs, "You have no idea." Finn can't believe she wants to bury her head in the sand. He can't do that. There's too much at stake. Poppy cries that Luna's in prison and her life is over. She tried to raise a good girl, but it was so hard. What's the point? Finn wants to know. He's had his suspicions, but he needs to hear it again. Poppy tells him he is not Luna's father. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Friday, January 31st, 2025 are here. In the next episode, fans can expect Steffy Forrester Finnegan to approve Daphne Rose's next move. Daphne will get to work putting her magical charm to work on Carter Walton. The bold and the beautiful spoilers, Daphne Rose's magical charm B&B spoilers for Friday, January 31st reveal that Daphne will put her charm to the test. Daphne and Steffy were cautioned by Ridge Forrester. While Ridge doesn't know specifics about the plan, he also wants to be sure everything done is legal. Ridge doesn't want to risk getting the company back, only to have it ripped away due to a technicality or scheme. At the same time, Justin Barber hasn't been able to do anything to help the Forrester family. B&B spoilers, Carter Walton impressed on Friday, January 31st. Carter and Hope Logan will both continue to be impressed and intrigued by Daphne. So far, Hope doesn't seem suspicious of Daphne at all. In fact, Hope is enthralled and drawn to Daphne, just like Carter. While Carter is impressed, will he really fall for Daphne's scheme? It seems that Daphne already knows that it will take more than her good looks and a nice smell to get Carter away from Hope. In fact, Daphne specifically mentioned to Steffy that she hasn't figured out what draws Carter in yet. The bold and the beautiful spoilers, Hope Logan's Jeopardy! The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Friday, January 31st reveal that Hope credits Carter with putting her shattered life back together. Of course, Hope's entire future is riding on her romance with Carter. If Hope can't keep Carter, then she might lose her upper hand on Steffy as well as her fashion line. B&B spoilers Friday, January 31st, 2025 in tomorrow's episode. Fans might also see Luna Nozawa continue bonding with Bill Spencer. There could also be John Finnegan doing some investigating after Penelope Poppy Nozawa's denial. Could Finn decide to run his own paternity test? After all, Luna's DNA is on file at the hospital, and Finn knows it after Lee Finnegan's confession. Once Finn gets the answer, how will his life change? Will Finn be able to tell Steffy? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Friday, January 31st, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. In the bold and the beautiful episode, which was aired on January 30th, 2025, the audience got to witness multiple interesting unfoldings. One of which also included what Hope expressed to Carter when she visited the office. In a heartfelt scene, Hope goes to the office and meets Carter, and they end up kissing one another. She expresses how so much of her life has altered because of him, and that he was the reason why she could get it all together. She further talks to him about her return to the building, her mom's being a CEO, and that she doesn't have to give answers to Steffy anymore. Carter then acknowledges how she thought that his vision was valuable from the beginning, which she found inspiring. Later, we also see her positivity about the fragrance line and the potential impact it will have. But this is not it. We also see Poppy revealing if Finn is Luna's father or not. We see Finn begging to get that answer, which he was not able to get from Poppy about the same. He goes on to recall their past and asks to know how many other men were there, and then asks her about the chances he was the father of his cousin. She still does not give him a direct answer. She tries to talk around the topic by revealing her feelings back in the day for Finn and her current feelings. But it appeared that Finn was adamant to know the answer to his question. And then the audience further got to witness Poppy clearing up that he was not Luna's dad. After she reveals this, it appears that his suspicion does not go away. The road to the bold and the beautiful was as twisty as one of the soap's plots for Muriel Hilaire, the head turner who plays Daphne, I Don't Do Appointments Rose. Though the French-born actress was living in LA when executive producer head writer Bradley Bell dreamt up the character, her casting wasn't a foregone conclusion. In general, Hilaire tells Soaps.com exclusively, auditions have been extremely slow after COVID and the writers and actors strikes. But my agent submitted me for this, and it was a French character, which was perfect for me because it's a challenge to audition in LA with a French accent. There isn't a lot out there. Maybe like 20% of the roles are British and 5% French. Needless to say, the first impression that Hilaire made on the powers that be it bold and beautiful wasn't just good, it was great. But the morning I was supposed to go in for my call back, my car stopped working in the middle of the road, she recalls. So I was late. The fates were with Hilaire that day. However, because her tardiness didn't matter in the slightest. There were 5 or 6 other actresses ahead of me, so I was the last one to go. And when she went, it went fantastically. I could see in the room that they were pleased. I thought, okay, this is probably going to move forward. I even told my agent, I think I got it. What really helped Hilaire's suspects is that she hadn't had to send in an audition video she'd gotten to try out in person. When you self-tape, you don't get to engage with people, and they don't get to see your true personality and go back and forth. Nowadays, having an in-person audition is rare, but it really does make a difference. Now that the bold and beautiful newcomer is settling into her role, she's realizing that Daphne may have something to teach her. At first, it was a challenge for me because I'm not necessarily like that, she admits. I'm still learning to walk in her shoes. But I think it's actually very positive for me to be playing a character like Daphne. It gives me a chance to try to adopt some of her